don't spend a lot of time, like on other information that is not relevant to your search. So, and lastly, on this is considered to be the feed, but it is a standalone kind of statement. That is like you need to let your emotion, like don't let your emotion override your ability to reason properly. Focus on the analytical frame of work. So if you find that you might be really emotional about a claim and you need to calm down, don't let it interfere with how you are going to reason professionally. And if you find that, and that is really the case in journalism as well, if you are reporting a certain issue and you find that it is related to you and you find like you are emotional or it's about your community with another community, your interest might tend to come out like you are going to be biased. So you need to be careful on how you handle your emotions around fact checks so that they don't stand out. So another step is the one used by Africa Checks, the continental organization for fact checks. So these are 5, and we call them Africa Checks 5-step fact checking process. First, you need to verify the claim and identify the original source. The first step in Africa Checks fact checking process is to verify the exact wording of the claim so that you don't end up misquoting the source or misquoting the or maybe altering the claim itself. So it will put you into problem actually with the other sources. Some sources are powerful, and if you tend not to get the wording properly, it can actually be a big deal on your side. People are often incorrectly quoted, although this seems sometimes just a handy excuse. If the claim was reported in a newspaper or online publication, try to get hold of an audio or video recording of the event. You need to have this material together intact because this way you're going to defend yourself as a fact checker. A person who made a claim might be like, this was not true. I did not say this, and this one is not true. Where did you get that information? So that the reason you need to have the material together with you, the audio, the video, be it a publication or a newspaper that has published it. So you need to have them together because they will help you in defending yourself and getting the right information. So in the next slide, we're looking at number 2, like the step 2 in fact-checking process. Define the terms and concepts within this claim. Never assume you know what someone meant. Ask them exactly what they were referring to. Make sure you define and understand each term and concept in a statement. Think of the term literacy. The Oxford Dictionary defined it as the ability to read and write, but it can be defined and measured in different ways. One way is to use school attendance, say up to grade 3 as a stand-in. Another is to give people a sentence to read. Some surveyors merely ask people whether they can read without testing them. So you need to get, because people can use different words in their context. But if you tend to take their context with your own, you give it your own meaning, it will actually be going to be misinformation, and there's going to be the confusion and conflict even with the person you have attributed the claim to. So that's why it is important for you to ask them, did they exactly mean that? Did they mean A or they meant B? So that is really important for you to always make them define the terms and concept of their claim. So number three. So in number three, inspect the evidence using the latest reliable data. If the person or organization provided you with evidence for the claim, first check that it applies to the country, area, or group they are referring to. And if so, it is based on representative data. So, some organizations can actually alter information to suit their interests. So in that case, you need also to be careful on what information you are given. They might sound genuine, like they are offering you, you might find like, this is a genuine information because it is coming from this institution or this organization. So, but as a fact checker, you need to be careful on that because some data can be altered, can actually be redone to look like it comes from that specific organization, but it was just lifted from somewhere else. So check whether the evidence has been updated. And claims tend to live on long after their sell-by date due to mindless repetition. So that evidence, you need to look at it like, is there any new information about it or not? Okay, so that you don't mess your, because when you are doing fact checking, you need a clean work that has not been work that is original, one that has all the facts gathered in it, so that it looks convincing, and when someone is reading it, to actually see where you are heading to, the processes you have followed, and how you ended up with the fact check. So in the fourth process step, we are also talking about we're talking of the approach experts use, or the approach, yes, to the experts approach. So when you are looking at a claim that need experts contribution, you need to reach out to them. Okay, you need to reach out to them so that they give you this perspective, because as a fact checker, you might not really understand some terms in another profession. So you need to consult an expert in that field so that they dissect such claim and give you information based on the studies that have been done, and for you also to use that information to drive your conclusion. So that is why you don't need to rely on yourself and your own knowledge on what you know. You need to bring into factor the experts so that they give you like an informed and detailed information in that field. Okay, so it is really important that way, and that has been the case, especially in journalism. And this way, journalism and fact checking also come to work closely, like they override. So as a journalist, you need to work on, to work on bringing experts to give your reporting a backup. So they give your reporting backup and more detailed information, so that you have your audience having a lot to learn, and to also break down complex information. Bida, are you there? So such that complex information is broken down, so that you really have to understand Yeah, so that you understand
Hey, sorry,
in
guy.
less time.
Bida's computer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Bida's laptop has gotten some simple glitches. It will be coming back shortly, but he got
Okay.
disconnected. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's fine. So I think we can use this. You use this short time for a break, for a 5 minute break, so that we fix this together. Okay. And if any one of you want to ask a question so far about what we have covered, you are open to ask. Hello, everyone. Are we there?
Yeah, available.
Yeah. So as we wait for Bida, is there anyone who needs clarification on what we discussed and then or a question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we take this few minutes rest and we are resuming shortly. Yes, Labur. Labur, the floor is yours.
Yes, yeah, I think she's great. You can hear me well.
I'm getting you
Okay,
right.
I got a question. Yeah. I got a question. Exactly, it's called direct to your side there. My question goes, um, why is that sometimes South Sudan minimize the truth information like the journalists who got shot from the conflict zone that South Sudan had been faced in?
Labur, you are breaking kindly.
Okay, let me speak slowly. I mean
Yeah.
to say, why is that sometimes South Sudan minimize the truth information like the journalists who got shot from the conflict zone that South Sudan had been faced in? Is it
Yeah.
harder?
So I think you okay, from what I understood, you're asking why is it that South Sudan is
Okay, let me repeat the question. I mean,
okay.
why is that sometimes South Sudan minimize the truth information like the journalists who got shot from the conflict zone that South Sudan had been faced in? That's it. Thank you.
Okay, you all right. I think in this case you are referring to that journalist who was shot, Christopher Allen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you can complete. This is the question I give it to you.
Yeah. All right. So I think if I'm not answering you correctly, you just let me know. But the thing is, South Sudan right now is a country. We talk of media freedom, but we don't actually have the media freedom to some extent, considering the conflict that have happened before. So it tends like some information is actually restricted from reaching out to the public. It is controlled. So, and in such a case where journalist was shot, there was no clear information because the government is also trying to stay out of, actually doing the actually intentionally killing the journalist. So I think that's why there's no clear information on how this specific journalist was killed, and there's no information like to make sure that the justice is served, because no one is held accountable, because they say this was a crossfire and it just happened that way. So I think I've answered you, Ilkana.
Oh, thank you. This is exactly because we are on a fact check, which means just anybody who got a questions is granted to ask and should be checked out. Thank you very much, my friend. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Robert. Yeah. So kindly be patient. We are just fixing this issue, and it's almost done. Yeah. So is there anyone who needs some clarification? Yeah, thank you, Bida. Bida is actually back, and I was having some technical glitches, and he's hosting my slide from the other end. So we're talking of the fact-checking process that you need to follow as a fact checker, and we were at number. We have okay. We say Africa Africa checks 5-step fact-checking process, and we say the first one, you need to verify the claim and identify the original source that produced that claim. And then second, define the terms and concepts within that claim. Third, inspect the evidence using the latest reliable information. And then number 4, this is where we had the issue. You have to approach the experts in that field so that they give you information related to that. So ask, is the claim correct based on the studies that is referred to you or not? If an expert provides a database or a study, you need to go through it in detail so you can explain to your audience how it was put together. So if you don't understand something, always cast your net wide from the beginning, and also deciding which comment to cut is much better than having to pressurize people at the last minute to get back to your question. So that's the 4th one. And then the 5th one, which is on your screen, set out the evidence. So after doing step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, you need to, in step 5, you need to set out the evidence. Explain how you went about fact-checking the claim in as much detail as possible. Give the steps you took, be it reverse image search, be it InVid, the video searching tool. So, and someone should be able to follow the evidence you set out and read the same conclusion. So after writing your fact check, your audience will be able to read and see where you are taking them step by step until you reach a conclusion. So in the same way, when they are reading it, they feel satisfied that actually this was the right way, there will be no doubt, or your fact check cannot be challenged if you had followed all those proper steps. And then for this reason, fact checkers hyperlink to the source of each factual statement in a written report or attribute it to an expert. So, and later on in your writing, in writing your final project, you need to be linking some claims and some facts, supporting your claim, your article. So you need to insert such links so that your audience will be convinced when they see that there is an evidence backing that up. So upload any documents you obtain to the internet so that others may refer to them in future. So you need to have these documents available, upload them online, let them be available to the audience so that they also use them for other researches. So be transparent, build trust, and so does fairness. Okay. So in the tone you are using, need to be fair, you need to be transparent, and it looks professional when you are doing that. So therefore, if you find that the claim is incorrect, first present your finding to the person or organization who made it and offer them the opportunity to comment before publishing. So the issue here is to minimize losing your credibility. So after saying that you are fact-checked, and then your information or your article is stretched like this wrong, and it is really bad. So when the aim is to produce a clean work, so this is why you need to also get back to the organization or an individual, so that where you are in doubt, you are given more information. So that is the last part of the fact-checking process. And the next one, we talk of evaluating sources. How do you evaluate sources before you quote them or before you use them in your articles? So here are 5 characteristics of an original or primary source. Primary source, in other terms, is an original source because it is where the information originated. So we take that as a good source of information. So one, it provides first-hand testimony or direct evidence. Primary source is where everything starts. So if you are able to get the first-hand information, that is actually very good for you to start working on your fact-checking process. Second, it is created. That is another characteristic of a primary source. It is created by eyewitnesses or recorders who experience the events or conditions at the time it happened. This can include raw materials such as handwritten notes or data calculations. So, and eyewitnesses are people who are at that side, at the side of the event where it happened, and maybe someone has recorded a video clip or an audio. You need to get such information right with you. And the third one, it can include autobiographies, memos, and oral histories recorded or published after the event. It might have not happened right now, right away, and then you happen to get to the event. It must have happened maybe 2 years ago or 10 years ago, but there were records, recorded down in the history about that event. So you can use them for your reference as a fact checker. And the fourth one is it can come from the original results of an experiment, valid academic or scientific study. So that is still a primary source as an experiment, an experiment done by scientists or any other academic studies. you take that as a genuine information. And then the fifth one is an original source doesn't necessarily need to be in its original format. It could be in microfilm or microfiche, in digital format or in published format. So that is to say, if a source maybe spoke these words in a video, then it is transcribed and it is in text. It is still okay for you to get that in that format, and it is good also for you to take that, not necessarily relying on the audio of that, the first audio of the source. So what are the original sources? We talk of primary source, but we're also looking at where, like the sources where if information is published there, we can actually believe that this one is true. So these are the one we are referring to as original sources. So if you find information published or by the City Review newspaper, and that it cites World Health Organization study, then you need to believe that. Okay, Vida, are you with me? Yes. So if City Review reported World Health Organization study giving a statistic that this is a number of people who have been vaccinated of coronavirus and all that, then you need to take that right, because the source is a trusted source. Second to that, data from a study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control, that is commonly known as CDC, Africa CDC. You can indeed believe that this was conducted and is genuine information, which you can also quote as a fact checker. And third, statistics obtained from a quote by scientists in a BBC story. Those of BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN, CGTN, Times refer to as the Big Five media organizations. So whichever information that passes through them, it is taken to be thoroughly, edited and free from errors and all that. So, and also you can see from the kind of investment they have made. They have fact-checking desk, which is a standalone kind of a department in these big organizations. When information is fact-checked at that desk and research is done around stories, is there any inaccurate information that can be lifted out of that report? All those things are done by this Big Five media organization like BBC. So any information that is coming out of these houses, media houses, is trusted. And the fourth one is information contained in an online version of a research study originally published in a 1985 book. So if information you are looking for was originally published in around 1985 or earlier than that, you can actually look at that as a genuine source because it has not been altered. Okay, it is information that is like intact. So looking at facts versus opinions. So what can be fact checked or not between facts and opinion? So facts, okay, not every statement can be fact checked. Not every statement can be fact checked. Proof and evidence are the cornerstones of facts. A fact can be checked and backed up with evidence. The first question you should ask yourself before trying to fact check a claim is whether it is verifiable or fact checkable. That is, or not. So And I told you earlier that we need to look at why opinions are not fact-checkable. So looking at this slide, a claim that can be verified with evidence and proof, that is a fact. And the opinion is, opinions are promises or predictions about what is going to happen in future. So obviously you cannot say this will happen tomorrow, and then as you as a fact checker, you are fact checking that. In the first place, you will not get any information to back that up, because it is someone's opinion. It is what they think to them is okay, and that's why opinions are not fact checkable. And in cases where a politician, or maybe during campaigns, they make promises that we are going to build schools here, we are going to do this and that here, and hospital and all that, and such information are available, you need to also you need to fact check that. Have they actually done it when the time passes? When maybe they have given a timeline that they will do it in this month, but it has not been done. So that's where now you as a fact checker will come into fact check. Have they actually implemented what they say or not? So, but in its natural form, as it is, an opinion is not fact checkable. So, and a fact is a fact is a claim that can be verified with evidence and proof. Okay, so the contrast is very clear, and I thank you. I really appreciate you for your time. This brings us to the ending slide. So thank you for your time, and I apologize for the breakdown that happened in the middle of our presentation. So thank you, everyone. And if there is any clarification before we depart, then question, then I will really appreciate. Over to you, Bida.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for the presentation. That was really snappy, and I appreciate that. I have a hand from Wilson. Yes, Wilson, you have a question?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Yes. Can you?
Yes.
Yes, Wilson, you can ask your question.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
I want to ask questions about what to look in a claims. I want to understand these things very well. I want to ask a question.
The recording has stopped.
What to look in the claim?
Yes.
Can you just repeat the examples that you have given us before?
Okay.
What to look in the claim? Yeah, I want
what to look for. What to look for in a claim? Okay. So before you.
Yeah. What to look for?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's clear. So before you have a claim. Maybe it has been stated or has been sent to you as a fact checker. So you have to re-examine, like, ask yourself or look into that claim. Who is behind the information? Who said that information? Is it a prominent person or not? If that is a prominent person, then you need to put some effort in trying to know the information of why they say that, and is it really true they said it? Okay. And then the second one is, what is the evidence for their claims? What they say, is it really available information, or there's no information available about that information or about that claim? So what is a possible impact? A possible impact of that statement or that claim that was made? Will it be will it cause a lot of damage, or will it cause conflict and serious issues? So, And then the other one is, what do other sources say about the organization or author that has made that claim? Okay. And have other credible sources talk about the same claim? If not, then you will know what to do next, whether to continue with your fact check or look for other ways, or maybe to contacting the source mentioned in the question, or to actually contact the source direct, or look for other means to verify that information. So is that clear, Kenny?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, hello? Hello, guy?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe in addition to what you've just discussed about what to look for in a claim, when you identify a claim, yeah, one thing you should look at the level to which the claim can go viral. Like, how fast can it go viral? Like, if one person shares it, will another person share it also? And then if it is shared, if it goes viral, how is it likely that people are going to believe it? Very many people are going to believe it, or very few. Like, then also the harm or the effect it's going to have on the people. Like when you see, even if this one is shared, it will have little impact. For example, the example that we can give is the one for the earthquake. The rumor about the earthquake. It is spread so fast, and people were believing it, and then the impact, like making people sleep outside, it was so dangerous. So if you look at that claim, it gives you all the reasons, like to fact check it and make sure the public knows the truth. Yeah, just in addition to what you have told them, those are some of the reasons that they should also look at before they go for fact check a claim.
Yes, that's very important point. Thank you, GB. That is really important part also to include the how wide has that claim been shared. So that also gives you an hint as a fact checker to know why this information going viral. And now that's where the impacts come in. If that is a dangerous information, then you need to act so fast for you to get the facts around it and publish an article debunking it, or even trying to, like, getting to know where your fact check will lead you to. Okay, so thank you, GB, for that. Is there any other addition, or is there any other question?
Yes, there are questions in the chat box.
Yes. Is there any hand up?
Yes.
Shadow.
Yes.
Are you saying something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question here. How do you check if the evidence provided is updated or not?
Yeah.
That goes back to
okay.
The fact-checking process. I think it was the third point. Inspect evidence using latest reliable data.
Yes, we are on the same page. Thank you. So what you need to do is when you get information from an organization, maybe they handed that information over to you, that this what we have and these are the statistics that we have. Okay. So and most of the time, information about organizations or big companies, they are available online. So there's a lot that is done online for their visibility. So if that information is handed over to you or the statistics, you need to also review it carefully because they can just give you based on their interest, but not on the basis of what you actually need. So you are the one who knows what you need. Okay, so you have to look at it carefully. Is it actually going like with the research you are doing, you are undertaking, or not? And looking at it, whether it is updated or not, you need also to study the trend of that organization. Okay, you see your previous information related to that, and see is there a change or is there any variation in that statistics. So that's why I say you need to check whether that information is updated or not. So you need to contrast and compare, you do research around it. You don't just take what you are given and then start working with it. You need to scrutinize it and see other trends in that same manner. Is that okay? Is it clear?
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So silence mean no any other question?
Yes, I have a short question here.
Yeah.
Okay, my question sometimes it goes on like this. Um, you says what is the possible impact? Okay, if I take into my understanding, sometimes like you talks about the organizations where sometimes you have to collect the data, and sometimes it will happen something that will happen to in your front or in front of you, and without you don't have the device. Exactly, just kind of a person. If a person told you say something has happened like that as a corresponding sex, what do you do exactly?
Okay, like if a person tell you from the organization, okay, like tell you from, okay, like you are meeting this organization and a representative, and they tell you that this what the data they have and all that. That was saying, like doing it orally and you are not recording it, or it was not recorded.
Okay. Yeah, yes, with you, sir. Yeah. Okay, it's all right. Please.
GB. GB?
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you got that well, then you can also come in. If you got Alikana's question.
I don't know whether I got him clearly, but I think what he was trying to say, like, for example, something happens in front of you, and you don't have any gadgets to record or something like to get the evidence. How do you do that? Elkana, is that what you're trying to say? Like, how do you report about such case, or how do you fact check?
Yeah, got you right.
Okay. Yeah, now in this case, I think it will be very hard to document such a case if you don't have any evidence. even if when you saw it, because as a fact checker, you need a reference that can be accessed by anybody reading your fact check. So you cannot claim that I saw this or I had this when you don't have any evidence. It will be a claim itself. It will not be a fact check. So in such a case, you don't need to write about it. You don't need to write a fact check about it because you don't have what it takes to defend your claim. Unless when you can have enough evidence like pictures or recordings. Is that helpful?
Okay. You really thank you. Well,
yeah. By the way,
it's only because a matter of time we would have. It's a matter of time we would have push it up, and I thank you. I cannot talk so much. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. I tend to get it now clear. Alicana, that one seemed to be complicated. It is complicated this way. You as a journalist or a researcher or a fact checker, you are always equipped with your equipment, your recorder, your notebook and pen. So unless you have to always carry that in case you are always prepared to have such equipment in place, unless the policies of that organization will not don't allow you to record or even take pictures or videos of that. But if you tell them your clear intention that you are doing this research, then they will not like prevent you from taking notes and video or even audio. So, but if it happens that way that you don't have any of your devices, it becomes so difficult for you to actually uh, attribute that claim to them or quote that statistic that they say this and that. Where will you back it up? So that's why it is a bit challenging. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, you guys are all okay now. So I think basically when you talk of what can be checked, you guys should be very, very careful because many often a lot of people reach out to me about things that that can never be checked. So as people who have benefited from this training, go out from here knowing what can be checked and what cannot be checked. For instance, one thing that you can check is historical data. For instance, if somebody says maybe in 2019, coffee made up to 20% of Uganda's exports. So there are numbers, especially by the National Bureau of Statistics, that can state the exports of the country. So this is data that can be checked. So usually data, you can easily check data, especially from institutions that keep proper records. And another thing that you can check is the legality of something, whether something is accepted or not accepted according to the law. For instance, maybe you want to know, maybe you can say a 70-year-old person can run for the office of the president in Kenya. So there you can go and read the Kenyan constitution to know whether really somebody of 7 years can run for presidency. So the legality of something can be checked. Maybe somebody says the person of 18 years cannot be married in South Sudan. Then you have to check the constitution and to see what the constitution says about marriage. So that is legality of something. Another thing is statistics. For instance, maybe I have statistics say that
Bida, your voice is down completely, please.
Maybe let's say. Are you getting me clearly now?
Yes, you are loud.
Yes,
you are loud. Yes. You are loud. Yeah, let's say maybe someone talks of 1 in 10 children in Africa die before the age of 5 years. Like
one in every 10 children in Africa do not reach their 5th birthday. So that is something that can be checked. You can check data. There are a lot of data around the mortality rate among children in Africa, and that is something that you can use to check that. And lastly, you can also check comparisons. When someone is comparing things, for instance, if someone says the unemployment rate in Ethiopia is 4 times higher than in Kenya or in Somalia. So that is something that you can check also based on the statistics that is available. So you can clearly check things to do with historical data, legality of something, statistics and comparisons. And you know that you cannot check mere opinions, what people think about certain things or predictions, things to do with prophecies and very other unrealistic claims are things that cannot be checked. So we should be very, very sure when you want to undertake investigations. And there are also a lot of things that are, especially on the internet, or that people bluff about, that you really need to ignore in most cases. So not everything can be checked, and that is something that you should go away with from here. Otherwise, I would like to sincerely thank Guy for the presentation. I wish you guys the very best of your afternoon, and do take good care of yourself. Do take good care of yourself. We meet in the next session, that is on Tuesday next week. I think we are really going well, because I can see that we are already in the 17th session, and when I look at the timetable, we are left with only six sessions to be able to wrap up this training program. So this means that there has been very significant progress, and I hope that most of you are learning 1 or 2 things. And please, you know that you should be able to complete the assignments. I'm also happy to say that there's one person who submitted an assignment today. So far we have 3 people who have been able to do the assignments, to submit. I see if you using the form, there are a lot of you who are submitting hate speech and fake news, which is a good thing. So please just continue doing that. Make sure that if you identify any hate speech, offline or online, in posts, in comments, in replies, even on YouTube videos, on TikTok, everywhere, just submit it through that form, because it's very important and it's part of your assignments. I'm going to share the attendance register, so you use this period of time to be able to register your attendance, and then we close the meeting in 8 minutes. So I'm just getting the link to the attendance form, so please do register your attendance, and then we proceed from there. Yeah, so please make sure that you follow the assignments. I think so far you have 3 assignments. There's that assignment for the data visualization, and then there's the assignment for the fact checking, and then there's assignment for identifying hate speech and reporting it via the form. So those are the only assignments. I think there's no other assignment that you will be given. So just use your time very well to be able to see that you submit all the assignments accordingly. So I have put the attendance in the chat box. Kindly register your attendance for today. I know very well that you did not register the attendance on Tuesday during the last session for data visualization. So today, just register your attendance. You leave the one for last time. Just register your attendance here. Yeah, just register your attendance, and please make sure that you are able to complete the assignments, so that you can, so that we can know that you have been a very active member of this platform. So when you see here, all the ones marked green, all these ones here have been completed already. You will find this in the Google Classroom. Yeah, you will see this there. So yeah, we are left with the online research and social media investigation. This will be on Tuesday by Benon. Benon will be coming back again, and then Guy will come back again on Thursday with multimedia storytelling and audience analytics. And then and then you will have Amude. Amude will have a session on health misinformation on the 18th of February. So this is 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Actually, you're left with only 6 sessions. That is 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks. 3 weeks we are done. So we should be done by 27th of April. So make sure that by that time you are able to complete all your assignments. So you still have 3 weeks to be able to do that. Yeah. So we have. So you have online research and social media and investigation, multimedia storytelling. You will look at rumors and dynamic listening, understanding social behavior change and the lexicon of hate speech, mental health in fact-checking and journalism. Yeah. So then we will close the session on this. So all these are already there in your calendars. Just check your Google calendars to see that you are updated with the latest around this training program. So kindly register your attendance. I am sharing the attendance link again. And I wish you guys the very best of your afternoon. Otherwise, thank you, Guy. Okay. Has it worked? Okay. Yeah, so Guy, thank you so much. If you have any final remarks, you can make, and then we can let you go.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I really appreciate. And I think we started as usual. We started 30 something, and I'm seeing we are around. We are more than 10 now. So thank you so much, everyone who is committed. We're doing this for South Sudan. We're doing this for free, and with the hope that it will impact you positively and do other things rightly, right in South Sudan and wherever you will be. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a lovely evening.